Oh, it's big over. The WBC breaking news. Ryan Garcia has now been officially expelled. Oh my God, let's go. I ain't never seen the WBC do this, but hey, you got to give him credit for this. So the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, he says enough is enough, basically. Ryan Garcia, after that racist rant, which I already made a video about it, check that on the channel, he just posted this. This is literally hot off the presses. Exercising my authority as president of the WBC, I am hereby expelling Ryan Garcia from any activity with our organization. We reject any form of discrimination. I fear for Ryan's well-being as he has declined multiple attempts for our help with mental health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. May God guide him and help him. I told y'all things were about to get real dark for Ryan Garcia. Now, let's distinguish this really quick. I notice a lot of Haniacs that are trying to pop out and make this some I gotcha moment, and it's really not a gotcha moment. My assessment, my job as a content creator, is to assess the circumstance and the situation. I've done that, and I've done that amazing. Regarding Haney Garcia, some things are deeper than boxing. Ryan saying foul stuff about George Floyd has nothing to do with boxing. Ryan Garcia saying disgusting things, using the N-word, reprehensive things about Muslims has nothing to do with boxing. So I want the record to show that nothing I said regarding the fight and the outcome of the fight really changes here. You could be a sick POS. That doesn't change the outcome. Like, here's an example for you guys. If somebody said Edwin Valero has a lot of power and he's a good fighter, what he did outside of the ring doesn't really change him having power in the ring, hurting Oscar De La Hoya in sparring. So you wouldn't retract any of those statements. Now, can you say this person is disgusting? Kick them out of the sport? Can you say they're nasty, they're vile? There's no place for them in boxing with these types of closed-minded thought or this behavior in the case of Edwin Valero? And if you don't know what happened to Edwin Valero, then just look it up. But disgusting behavior, right? No one can condone that. And I see there's a lot of Haniacs that are celebrating Ryan Garcia. This man is crashing out. This has nothing to do with boxing at all. So this is not some I gotcha moment, right? It's like a critic reviewing Lethal Weapon, the Lethal Weapon series, and saying, hey, these are great buddy cop movies. I like Riggs and Murtaugh. Riggs, I'm too old for this, right? And you're breaking down Lethal Weapon. Years later, the tapes of Mel Gibson saying similar stuff to what Ryan Garcia was saying, talking about a pack of N-words and all this type of stuff, doesn't change the Lethal Weapon series and the franchise and the movies. I see a lot of people trying to reach and connect the dots and say, oh, hey, because Ryan is saying disgusting things now 3 months after and completely crashing out and killing and destroying his brand, somehow that changed anything in terms of past commentary. So I had to make that clear. As far as the WBC, I'm glad they stepped up. The WBC, I think their hand was kind of forced. We have seen the WBC show favoritism to certain fighters, especially fighters with star power like Canelo Alvarez. But the difference being is Canelo is not an idiot. So Canelo, when he tested positive for clenbuterol, he went through his due process to try to clear his name and hair samples and stuff like that. He didn't keep egging the situation on and making things worse for himself like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is acting like an absolute idiot. His family has done like wellness check calls and wanted the police to check on him. He doesn't seem well. And this is not an excuse. This is all troubles that Ryan is personally responsible for. See, we live in a society where people, if you have any level of commentary, people will say, oh, you're making excuses. I'm not saying this is a mental health issue. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Ryan Garcia. Point blank, period. Seems like he's on drugs, you know, or something. And people, the WBC, they said they've offered their services or their resources. Ryan is not accepting it. And you can't really force, unless it's like a court order, you can't force somebody into a halfway house, this, that, and the third. So the WBC is doing what they rightfully should do, wiping their hands clean of Ryan Garcia. And I'm happy about it, because this is how you hurt a person that doesn't. Ryan is saying, I'm untouchable. I'm untouchable. We gonna see. We gonna see how untouchable you are when you start saying this crazy stuff, saying Muslims and N-words and this and that, and loosely throwing these things around. And we gonna see how untouchable you are. I can't wait for it. The funny thing is, you have fans, they're trying to make this about me, a content creator. I didn't test positive for Ostarine. I didn't say these words. So this don't have nothing to do with me. I don't care what happened. This is not my life. This is not my problem. This is not my issue to deal with. But again, I'm glad the WBC is forced, because people like Ryan Garcia, you give them an inch and they take a mile. Ryan Garcia has failed a drug test. And of course, he's saying it's tainted supplements. Dana White backs him, and you know, it's plausible, whatever. But he just won't stop. He won't stop. Like, some people right then and there, like, the crowd is still kind of siding. They were siding with Ryan Garcia from what I've seen in the comment section, which is why I said this is a bad fight for Devin Haney and a lose-lose situation. None of these things change. It's still a lose-lose situation for Devin Haney. If you think Ryan crashing out and using vulgar language and saying stupid stuff changes the physical impact of Haney Garcia fight, then you have another thing coming. These things are not one and the same. What this does, Ryan Garcia crashing out months after his fight with Devin Haney, is he's destroying his career, because we're not even halfway through and Ryan Garcia is doing all this ridiculous stuff, and he hasn't even barely served any of his suspension. So Ryan, his career could very well be done. You know what I mean? And I'm not being funny. His career could very well be done, because if you're already doing, this is just my logic, if you're already doing this level of craziness and you just started your suspension, you're not good till April. You got too many vices, partner. It looked like you got way too many vices and too many things going for you, or actually going against you. So they say idle time is the devil's playground. Ryan has showed a level of immaturity. He's saying racist things. He's going against people's religion. He's saying this, that, and the third, and vote for Trump and F the Muslims and all types of wicked stuff. We already went over this in the previous video. You can find it all online. Now he's being denounced from the WBC. Now, he was already suspended, so it doesn't really impact his career, because he couldn't fight for a WBC belt anyway, because he can't fight in general. He can't get a boxing license in the USA. So I like the WBC doing it still, because it still sets a precedent, and Ryan has forced their hand. The WBC said, oh, we fully back Ryan Garcia during this time of need, and we support him. But now Ryan Garcia has forced their hand and made that statement look bad, because you're sitting up here trying to offer aid and help for him, and he's like a snake. He came back and bit you and did this foolishness of what he said on X Spaces yesterday, and now you have no choice but to like denounce him. And again, that's how some people are. Some people are like that. You could roll with somebody and they're your friend, and it's cool, but it gets to a point, it's like R. Kelly or something, right? You could be cool with R. Kelly, but at some point, when he keep doing the foul and keep having these cases, and you know what I mean, minors, and it's probably a minor, he got all this stuff going on, you got to separate yourself from that. And that's exactly what the WBC did. So I'm happy that the WBC decided to finally go against a cash cow level person, set the precedent, show Ryan Garcia that he's not the boss and he can't just say disrespectful things to blacks. He can't say disrespectful things to Muslims without any kind of consequences. And that's, again, as I've said throughout this video, that's what you got to do for people like Ryan Garcia. He's showing you. It wasn't enough that he failed a drug test and the crowd was still siding with him, right? He had to keep pushing it, Mr. I'm untouchable. Nobody can uck with me. And he literally did a video, and I'll probably put it at the end of this video. He said, I ain't apologizing for ish. You never gonna see me apologize, yada, yada, yada. And he said, come see me. Anybody want to touch me, touch me. I'm untouchable. All right, we'll see. I hope more people do this because that's what this new generation needs. I don't even want to call it tough love. They need consequence. Ryan Garcia think the money has enabled him to act like whatever and do whatever, like he the emperor of the United States of America, and he got another thing coming. So I'm happy for it. We're gonna see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check out this clip of Ryan Garcia saying he still ain't apologizing. And again, I like that. I like that attitude because there's two types of ways people can learn: the hard way or the harder way. So keep saying you untouchable, keep saying you don't care, keep saying they can't silence you, and Jesus and God is the only one that you care about. And we gonna see your whole world crumble down. And you talking about you in pain and you depressed and stuff like that. We gonna see. And we're gonna see how tough you are. Especially, and it's not a good road to travel, but at the same time, when you offending massive amounts of people, you on your own. You're on your own with that. You saying disrespectful things to people's wives. You are tweeting insanity, saying stuff about people's religion, talking about George Floyd and resurrecting him and just to off him again. Like, you doing too much, bro. So the WBC finally gets Ryan Garcia and he backs him to a corner. They saying we can't even back what you're doing. You on your own with that, bro. It reminds me of the scene on Don't Be a Menace where everybody was chanting and he had the toothpick in his mouth. He was like, take me to jail. Take me to jail. Throw away the key. Throw away the key. I ain't afraid to let a net. And then it was like, really? And the record skip and everyone's like, this tripping. Ain't nobody gonna co-sign that type of stuff. And that's the funny thing about the sport of boxing and content creation. People are trying to merge the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia fight assessment with Ryan Garcia crashing out months later and saying a bunch of racist gibberish. Ain't nobody condone that. Ain't nobody said, oh, Ryan Garcia, good job, you doing it. That didn't even come into the fray until the 4th of July. That had nothing to do with the fight and how that played out. So again, nothing really changes there. The only thing that changes is Ryan Garcia is getting dealt with, and we about to really see. We about to see how tough he is. He keeps saying he's untouchable. When we start losing this money and these endorsements, people don't want to touch him and don't want to work with him. And then that money dry up. We're going to see how many of those people, the leeches and enablers and people like that you have around you, let's see how much they want to be down when you can't front the expenses and the trip because your finances aren't coming in. I mean, it's crazy what happens with pro athletes. Get all this money just to lose it. So it is what it is, but here's Ryan Garcia not apologizing.
And guess what? I'm not apologizing for nothing. You ain't gonna catch me apologizing for nothing. The last time I apologized was never. So y'all can come and try to touch me all y'all want. Shoot me if you want. I don't give a fuck.
Listen, if this is a true lawsuit, we'll see. We'll see what plays out. My thing is this: Ryan Garcia is crashing out crazy, and it's who wants to make the amount of money he's making and then give it up for stupid stuff. Like, it couldn't be me, bro. It can't be me. I like the money I make. I don't like middlemen. I don't like extra hands in the cookie jar. I'm not trying to just pay unnecessary things just because I can't stop tweeting on social media. And I think that's the problem with this new generation, Gen Z, is they treat everything like a game. I just seen somebody at a Walmart and he tried to punk a customer and steal the person. It was a prank to make it look like he was stealing the person's items from the electronics department or whatever as he was paying for it. And he's like, do something about it. And the dude was like, I'm licensed to carry. And the dude was about to up the blick, if you know what I mean, on dude. And he was like, no, it's a prank. It's a prank. He's like, nah, F that. I don't do all that TikTok and pranks and stuff. And literally, people are crashing out for views. People are crashing out for clout and doing all this extra stuff. Ryan Garcia, he's saying a lot of things about a lot of people. Logan Paul already decided that enough was enough, and Ryan was defaming his business. And not just his business, but he has partners. They didn't like what Ryan was saying about Prime, so they filed a lawsuit. Now, according to Ryan Garcia, Jordan Plants filed a lawsuit. So Ryan is just potentially giving up free money. And even if you win some of these, and it's just like a waste of time. Like, I get it, he's suspended. I don't know what else he has to do, but I'm just not trying to be in court. If you guys have ever been to court, it's not a fun place to be in. And you're just creating more work for your attorneys, your lawyers, your security. The reason I say the security is because at the end of the day, you're creating all these beefs with these people. And then when you see them in public, now you're increasing the threat level. So if I was Ryan Garcia's security detail and you see he's creating all this commotion, all these beefs with all these fighters and cliques and different people like that, I would ask for a raise, because now we gotta protect you and be your security detail, top flight security of the world, Craig. And you're starting stuff with everybody. So I really think someone needs to get in Ryan Garcia's ear. He's been on TMZ and getting arrested. He really should fall back. Beefing with Ishe Smith, he beefing with Caleb Plant, beefing with Sugar Sean O'Malley. It's just nonstop at this point. And then it's more money, more problems. Now, Ryan Garcia is young. He's a young man. He's 25 years old. He's a grown man. He could do whatever he wants. I'm just giving big brother advice like I always do in the boxing game. And I understand trolling. I understand trying to get clicks and build the brand, get people to follow you and all these types of things. I make money online too, right? For the last decade plus, my whole business has been online. You don't know ego to work a job. I haven't worked a job in many, many years, like a standard 9-to-5 job. You guys know that. I've been on YouTube and online businesses, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not with that, giving out free money. And then some of these fighters, what happens when you can't fight no more and then paychecks slow up and then you spent all this random money on attorney's fees and retainers and stuff, like dumb stuff, because you were beefing with Caleb Plant's wife for no reason. And the thing is, Ryan is tripping. You can't say all these things about Caleb Plant. I know Caleb Plant. He don't play about his family, you know, and he's a fighter. You've seen him slap Jamal Charlo, and he's in a higher weight class. I don't think Ryan cares. I'm not trying to take it there, but at the end of the day, people don't play about their family. Like, you got Ryan Garcia saying he's sleeping with people's wives and about to steal their wives and saying stuff about their mamas and stuff. A lot of people don't play like that. So I don't know how they get down to Victorville, but Ryan got to chill. Let me know what you guys think. If somebody should get in Ryan's ear and coax him out of this, whatever this is. Some people like it for the attention and the fame, but I think he's headed down a very cynical and dangerous path. And he still got the whole year on the sideline, so who knows what he'll get into. I just know we'll read a lot more about Ryan in the next year. That's what I truly feel. And then I don't know if it's going to be good stuff.